There's an anchor that's pulling on my heart, and it's deep in the water, but it can't.
This is a very personal story to share. However, I feel compelled to share it because hopefully this is your story or part of your story. I would hope that you would seek help because help is available for those who want it. Shortly after I turned 14, I was invited with a number of other school friends who were girls to be at a sleepover at a new friend's house. I was happy to be included in the invite as I was trying to get myself into the popular group at school at the time. The party wasn't like other parties though that I had been to before, and alcohol was being served to all of us by my friend's older brother who was 18. It was the very first time I was at a party like this, and it was the first time that I got very drunk. My friend's mother was not at home. She was a single mom by herself, and she herself was out with partying with her friends. I was very drunk when my friend's older brother approached me and asked me to come downstairs to his room because he wanted to show me his guitar. And just feeling vulnerable and drunk, and here was someone showing interest in me, I innocently followed him and went with him. When I was in his room, though, he kept telling me how pretty I was. And he told me I needed to sit down while he pulled out his guitar and played something on it. I have no idea, I don't remember what he played. And then he put his guitar down and he pushed me backwards onto his bed and kept telling me, "Wow, are you ever pretty?" And then he got on top of me. You know, I was flattered that he thought I was pretty, but now I was scared. I was very scared, and I said, "I'm a virgin," and then I just wanted to go. And he kept saying, "I was going to be okay, it's going to be okay." And then he forced himself on me, and he slid my underwear down, and he proceeded to rape me. When he was done, he just left his room and left me there. I was stunned. I was so drunk, and it just happened so fast. I was stunned. What had just happened? So I stumbled my way back upstairs in my friend's house and cried about myself asleep, just laying on the couch in her living room. There was girls kind of just scattered all over the place. When I look back now, I feel like I was targeted by her brother, and found out years later that I was not the only one that he had done this to when his friends had other of her friends sleep over. He would target someone and do this to them too. I remember thinking that this was my fault, that this happened to me, and I never told anyone until many years later. I remember walking home the next morning really early, even before anybody was got up in that house. And I was walking by my church. That was my home church. And I went in, the doors were unlocked, and I just sat in the pew, just kind of talking to God, asking for forgiveness, and I had felt so ashamed and devastated and dirty and just wanted to feel better. I didn't feel anything though. I felt I didn't get any help sitting there in the pew. When I walked into my home that morning, my mom and dad were there in the kitchen, and I knew I was so different, and I thought, how could they not see how different I was? Because I knew from that moment on I wasn't the same girl anymore. I never went back to my friend's house ever again, and I never did tell her what happened to me. I never told my parents because I was so embarrassed and ashamed. And I suffered in silence with this guilt and shame for many, many years.
And it's deep in the water, but it can't take me down. Tracing faces with fingers, and we're just